Hello my friends and welcome to this new hands-on tutorial on SageMaker. So first thing first, I recommend to just watch this tutorial and not do with me the steps that I'm going to do for two reasons. First is because we're not going to build anything. This tutorial is just going to be an overview of SageMaker where I will show you the different tools of SageMaker like SageMaker Studio. I will also show you Jumpstart and all its foundation models, the code editor, Canvas. So I will just show you all these things. And then the second reason is that SageMaker is actually quite expensive. It's not part of the free tier and there is a massive cleanup to do each time you create a new domain in SageMaker. So unless you're really interested to already start creating things in SageMaker, I'd recommend to only watch this tutorial. Alright, so let's do this. Let's go to the console home and in the search bar, let's enter SageMaker. Amazon SageMaker, build, train and deploy machine learning models, but you can also do some generative AI as we're about to see. Welcome to Amazon SageMaker, and as I was just telling you, indeed, when you use SageMaker, you have to create a domain. That's your very first step. And actually, if it's your very first time in SageMaker, you might have this page, which should be the welcome page of SageMaker. There you go. And in that case, your first step will be to set up for a single user, which will same create a domain. So I suppose it's better to all start from here. There you go. Preparing SageMaker domain. Please do not close this browser tab. And right now your domain is being created. So it's actually going to take a bit of time, 2 or 3 minutes. So I'll meet you in a moment once this is over. And there we go, the SageMaker domain is ready. And now to be able to use the different tools of SageMaker, we have to go to user profiles. And then there you go. This is your user profile that was automatically created by default when you created your domain. Okay. So now no need to enter the user profile here. In order to launch one of the SageMaker tools, well, you click launch here and there you go. That's where you can find SageMaker Studio, Canvas, but also TensorBoard Profiler and some collaborative spaces. So what I want to show you is Studio, and also I'll quickly show you Canvas because you saw that in Kirill's theory lecture. So I'll just show you these two tools for the overview. Okay, so yes, here we can skip tour unless you want to do it. And there we go. Welcome to SageMaker Studio. So this is SageMaker Studio, including, for example, the code editor in order to code from scratch AI or ML applications. You also have AutoML, which is a no-code interface where you can build ML models without coding anything and just by clicking buttons. And there you go, you have here Jumpstart. So that's what I want to focus on in SageMaker Studio because indeed that's what's related to generative AI mostly. So as you can see, you have here a lot of providers, each one having several models that you can use, of course, for generative AI applications. So for example, you have the Hugging Face models with 393 models at the time I'm speaking. You have the Meta Foundation models, of course, like the ones we saw in Bedrock. Of course, the ones by AI21 Labs, the ones by Stability AI, Cohere, TensorFlow with 346 models, PyTorch 34 models, and many more as you can see. And of course, the AWS models. So there you go. That's where you can find all the foundation models from within SageMaker Studio. And for example, if we have a look at the 39 models of AWS, well, you will find many models for actually different types of tasks like classification, instance segmentation, object detection, regression, text embedding, text generation, time series forecasting. And you have all the models here for those different tasks. For example, you have Chronos T5 for time series forecasting. You have Alexa for text generation, of course. The very powerful SSD models for object detection. You have YOLO V3, of course, for object detection, a very powerful one, and many others, you see? So it's pretty cool. And if you want to have a look at other foundation models, I really love the ones of Hugging Face, for example. Well, you will find many of them. And of course, if we want to look for the ones for generative AI mostly, like for example, text generation, well, we can use the filters here, text generation, and also, of course, question answering and text to image, text to text generation. These are all the generative AI models. Well, you will find them all here, right? This is pretty cool. You have 9 pages of them at the time I'm speaking. Okay, so SageMaker Studio is really cool. You will find tons of foundation models that you can use for any application you want to do. And that's why I personally love and use a lot SageMaker because it gives us limitless possibilities of what we can build. Just a quick visit to the other tools. So this is AutoML where you can build, train and deploy machine learning models in a no-code interface. And you can either do that in Canvas or Studio Classic. Then let me quickly show you the code editor. This is where you can code AI applications from scratch. And for that, you would click this button, create code editor space. And finally, let me show you Canvas, which is this amazing, very user-friendly actually interface where indeed you can build and use ML and generative AI models with no code required indeed. So that's pretty cool. For example, if you want to create a machine learning model, you would go to My Models here. All right, and there you go. This is the pipeline. You first build a model, then you do your analysis, then you make some predictions, and finally you deploy the model in the form of an endpoint. Okay, and to do so, you would click here, create new model, and you can create, for example, regression models or classification models. All right, here this is where you can do some ML operations. And here, this is where you can do some generative AI by, of course, taking the existing foundation models that we just saw in SageMaker, in the Jumpstart. So there you go. Well, speaking of Jumpstart, you can access foundation models powered by Amazon Bedrock and SageMaker Jumpstart, but you can also query documents using Amazon Kendra. This is like Google for enterprises, but in the form of an AWS service. And you can also fine-tune a foundation model, just like in Amazon Bedrock. All right, so there you go. That's it for SageMaker. I look forward to seeing you in the next hands-on tutorial, and until then, enjoy the cloud.